Mario Kart is one of the biggest video game series ever. Most people probably played Mario Kart once in their life. I mean, have you seen how much each game sold? Mario Kart 8 sold more than Nintendo Land. That game was pretty much packaged with every Wii U. I mean, it was unfortunate that it was released on the Wii U, so it still didn't do that well. But someone needs to lay the land around here. Tell you what's good, tell you what's bad, so you don't need to have opinions of your own. And I'm doing Mario Kart Wii because it's my favorite one, and I don't have a capture card, so I'm doing it on Dolphin, so, you know. I'm going to be ranking all 32 tracks in Mario Kart Wii for the Nintendo Wii. I'm playing on Dolphin emulator, as I said, so, you know, doesn't really care. If you disagree with me, that's cool, but I don't care, so I don't want to hear about it. Mario Circuit was so good, they made it 3 more times. And then they also made it in every game afterwards, except for Mario 64, but you know, it barely counts. We just happened to get the 3rd one from Super Mario Kart. It's not very good. Yeah, sure, it's a Super Mario Kart track. That game has like 1 good stage, and the rest are below C tier. Mario Circuit 3 just kind of suffers from being a bit boring. The only thing I think this track really has is it has a lot of off-road. That's pretty cool. It has some cool shortcuts with that. Man, I think I made this track a lot better by just replacing the music with the entirety of the Mr. Beast Squid Game video. Yoshi Falls. Is someone gonna help him? This track is the most Shell Cup track ever. Get this. You turn right, and then you turn right again. That's the whole track. I guess the water's pretty cool. I only give this, the only reason why this is above Mario Circuit 3 is because it's a Shell Cup track, not a Lightning Cup track. Like, damn, dude, what a way to cap off the game. Ghost Valley 2? Oh! I scared you, little bitch. The only reason this track is here is because I think the theme's a little cooler, and I like that little jump that you can do, and you can only really do it on, like, 150, and it's just like, kinda cool. I like that you can target shock people on it. It adds a little bit of risk to taking it. But that's pretty much it. Sherbet Land 64. Why'd they name 2 tracks Sherbet Land? At least the other one isn't in this game. I don't like Sherbet Land because I think it's fundamentally flawed. While it may look like an unoffensive track, it's pretty simple, but, you know, the ice adds a little bit of extra challenge. But, you know, this is one of the only tracks where the meta isn't like Funky Kong Flame Runner or Funky Kong Spear or like Daisy Mock Bike. No, the meta is 22nd, 24th President of the United States of America, Grover Cleveland, in the Magic Cruiser, because they have a lot of off-road stat. This entire track is off-road, and it's one of the only tracks that does this, and it's just like, why? It just shakes up the meta for nothing. It's just weird that this one character and this one bike, look, I'm happy for Grover, you know, getting some relevancy, you know. He served his 2 terms, but after that, hasn't really done much except be in Mario Kart Wii. I'm happy to see the meta be different, have different cards, different bikes on different stages, but this is the only track where this happens, and it just feels wrong. It feels fundamentally like that there is a problem with this stage because it is different from every other stage. It's the only stage where this applies. At least the Spear and the Mock Bike have some stages where they are, like, better. Pretty sure the only other one the Magic Cruiser and Grover have is Shy Guy Beach, and that's it. Luigi Circuit is the most Mario Lunchbox track I've ever seen. It's like nothing. It's so short, and it's just a really luck-based track because you have like no time to recover if you get hit by anything. It's just nothing. Desert Hills is starting out the low tiers with boring, but you know, it's got off-road. That's it. The ending bit feels a bit too powerful. That you can just like glide over it. Shy Guy Beach is a boring track with a lot of off-road. That's pretty much it. It's got cannonballs. Those are pretty good hazards. Crab. DK Jungle Parkway is. This track is just a bit bad. Like you just turn. There's a bridge. It's like I like how it's hard to avoid any traps placed on it. You know, it makes it a good trapping location. There's this dumb shortcut in the cave where you always hit the wall.
Why they gonna do that?
The game just hates you, and it's just like outside of that, the layout's just okay. You remember Mario Circuit? Of course you do. Well, guess what? It's back on the Wii again. And don't worry, we still have another Mario Circuit we need to talk about. It does pretty much all the Mario Circuit things. It has chain jumps. It has off-road. It has straight lines. Surprisingly really big straight line. Look, at the end of the day, at least it's better than the Figure 8 Circuit. Guys, it's not another Mario Circuit, I promise you. It's called Mario Raceway. Yeah, Mario Raceway is just kind of like another Mario Circuit, except with off-road and like a lot of off-road, and it's kind of cool, just a little bit. Daisy Circuit. How much did you spend on that? It's a pretty basic track, but it looks nice. But like, what happened to Sherbet Land? Isn't it meant to be like a desert that Daisy lives in? Sure, I guess we don't need another desert track in this game, but it's still been years since we've seen Sherbet Land. I don't care though, I'm hoping for Bean Bean to come back, that's the real shit. Bowser's Castle 64 is overrated. God, I love buzzwords. This is just too many blocky rooms and turns, and it's just a nothing track. I guess the atmosphere is kind of cool, but that's all this track is, atmosphere. How many castles does this one Kooper have? Yeah, at least 3. Starting off the mid tier, we have Bowser's Castle 3. This one is pretty much only here because it's a cool track when played against people who actually know what they're doing. It's got cool shortcuts and like cool, you know, the turns, they can be like trapped and stuff. That's fun. Hey guys, it's Mario Circuit, but again. But this one has bumps on the ground. That's cool. And it has that bridge with the piranha plants where if you don't like, you're too far to the edges, you'll get hit by the piranha plants right before the finish line. That's a cool little bit of risk, you know, you gotta make sure you avoid that. You guys like cows? That's pretty much all this track is. Look, I kinda like this track, but it's just like, I just like the vibe. Yes, I like the vibe of cow. Grumble Volcano is a very polarizing track. You either love it or you hate it. Wii players seem to love it, 8 players seem to hate it. Me, I just think it's mid. The rock hop is cool, and that respawn glitch that you can do where you like jump off of the thing, that's cool. I like that it slowly crumbles over the different laps, making the track harder, but I just think it's kind of mid. Peach Beach. This track has the penis rock. If this is you, please go see a doctor about erectile dysfunction. I like the water and stuff, and you know, the vibe's pretty cool, but I do hate the cataquacks, but you know, bad challenge, so it's fine. DK Mountains is just a really solid track, that's why it's the first high tier track. It's got the gap jump, it's got the wood bridge, but outside of that, the rest of the track's just a fun romp down a mountain. I also love this Donkey Kong sign, he looks really stupid. I feel pretty much the same way about Wario's Gold Mine, which is just a pretty fun track with like 1 or 2 cool things. It's got that little shortcut that you can go down with the where the minecart goes. It's just fun. Dry Dodge Ruins is a great stage. It's got so many shortcuts, so much room for improvement. It's got that half pipe glitch, so much off-road, so many shroomless cuts. It's great. It's also got, I also really like the part in the temple in the middle with the sand that fills up more and more as the track goes on. The only thing I don't like about this stage is it's a desert, which I know feels unfair, but I just wish we had more time in the temple. Moonview Highway is a very love it or you hate it kind of track, and I love it. I think the cards add a lot of challenge, having to memorize the patterns to master the track. Then you get to the city and the dash panels really make you feel fast. Luigi Stadium is such a strange track because I just cannot believe that this was meant for Double Dash. It just feels so tailor-made for Wii. It fits in perfectly here. It's got so many things that you can trick off of. Oh, and it's got that cool wall glitch that you can do. Bowser has a Never Castle and it's fucking awesome. This track has like so many cool parts. It's got the wobbly floor, the Bowser statue that shoots big ass fireballs. It's got that part with the fireball, and I just think that this hazard doesn't get enough credit. You know, it does well at throwing you off your line. And then it's got this poster with dry bones and Boo, and it says Showtime. I don't know why I remember this so much. It's just very memorable to me for some reason. got these cool little geysers that pop out of the ground that you have to dodge. You gotta make sure you don't get in the fire, but you can't trick off of them. It's just a cool little bit of risk reward. DK's Snowboard Cross. Yes, I know, I do sadly suffer from being Australian. It's like a way better version of DK Mountain. You have the gap jump, but you can even do a double gap jump if you're good enough. You have the part where you're zooming down the half pipes, and the Shy Guys, you gotta make sure that you dodge the Shy Guys. And it just adds this nice little bit of risk reward, but also it adds these really tense moments where you're zooming past the half pipes, and you're just like about to pass someone. And then you lose anyway because the game hates you. The simplest tracks in the game. But when you learn more about it, there is so much complexity. There's so many branching paths, like that entire maze section. I still don't know what the best route to take there, but it's great. It's one of DS's best tracks, but not the best. Pheno Square, in my personal opinion, DS's best track. Around the middle part of the stage, it just has so much going on. It's got that really cool shroomless cut. You could do it with a shroom, but like, it's got that really cool shroomless cut, and then it's got that alleyway that you can go by. Or you could go past you use a shroom and do a double cut through that point and through the alleyway.
Okay, time to listen to the iconic Coconut Mall music. Was that
It's the kind of track that pulls off its theme perfectly. It gets everything right. From going up the escalators to cutting through that store, even that little cut-off section where you can either go up or you can go like on the same level, and while going on the same level it's always better. But I pretty much always go up too. I just really like jumping down into the field. The top 5, what I consider the best tracks, the top tier of Mario Kart Wii, starting off with Koopa Cape. Koopa Cape starts off great. It starts off in this nice little slow section and then it gets you right into the current. And it's just when the game perfects this feeling of going fast. And then you go down into the water and you have this little like part where you have to dodge zappers. The zappers really punish you if you hit them, putting you into a mini state. But going with the current is so good. It rewards you so much. So it adds risk reward. I really like risk reward when it comes to my tracks. So this is perfect.
Can't believe they gutted this track in Mario Kart 7.
Wii Rainbow Roads is probably one of the hardest Rainbow Roads, but that's really good when it comes to Rainbow Road because it's the perfect way to cap off the game. I mean, just the vibe in general, and it feels so triumphant. Mushroom Gorge is probably the first track that I think of when I hear Mario Kart Wii. It just feels so Mario Kart Wii with the big mushrooms, those shitty physics that you trick off of. And then you got that gap jump. Such a classic. You ever wondered where the item boxes came from? Apparently Toad makes them. You think that Toad workers are gonna unionize? Toad Factory is such a good idea for a stage. It has this constant theme of a risk reward with the crushers and the speed panels. But while it can be super easy, if you want to master this track, you need to take the risky routes. You need to perfect it. It's the perfect Mushroom Cup track. Grammarly really wants me to call this track Maple Freeway. Ew. Maple Freeway is one of my favorite tracks in the entire series. And it's probably just because of the vibes. I really like autumn settings. It's just a very cool thing to me. And I know it's super lame having vibes be your final thing for your #1 choice, but like, it is the vibes. Plus the layout's pretty cool. It's got really cool settings. I like the big wigglers. Those are fun. Thanks for watching the video. This is really how I'm ending it. I'm ending it on not much explanation for why I like the track. But, you know, you can subscribe and stuff. I've been chill, but now I'm not.
Shoutouts to my tree. I need to do this every fucking video. Do you know that? I made a promise. I'm a really good friend.
It's been like fucking months since I actually talked to my tree.